Okay, good evening, Wellcoin Talk community. Tonight we have an AMA with sound. So if we can just start, you launched on 25th of October. What's been happening at Sound for the first 2 months? That'd be great if we can go into that for investors.
Yeah, for sure. So first 2 months have kind of been like the development phase. We've built out the NFT marketplace. It's pretty much 100% done. We're just basically waiting for the release that we're doing on the 6th of January. And then, along with that in the development phase and all of those things, we've been, forming partnerships, getting contracts signed with artists that we are going to work with long term for NFT drops, in person and meta events and things like that. So yeah, just kind of like building out the foundation, making sure that everything that we're releasing is up to par with our expectations. We don't want to release like an NFT marketplace that's a generic white background copy and paste type marketplace. We actually went through and had like a custom UI built out to make it stand out and look different. Does look somewhat reminiscent of like our current website. And yeah, essentially, we just built a community. We're at over 10,000 holders so far. I believe we're sitting at a $7 or $8 million market cap. I think it's closer to 7 right now. And we, have gone up to about 20 mil twice. Obviously, everyone obviously knows that when you see explosive growth in a project, it's always going to kind of have a little bit of a dip when people want to take their profits and whatnot, when things go like 4 or 5x in like a 3 to 4 day time span. So we've seen that twice, but mainly just those pumps have been a very small amount of our partnerships posting, and which is something that we could have them do frequently, but we would prefer to kind of, piece out the posts that they're putting up to make more sense, so they're not just randomly talking about a project, because these aren't like ingenuine promos. These are actually like locked in long-term partnerships. So we prefer to have them post like when they're dropping NFTs with us or when they're announcing an event and things of that nature. What have I missed? On the back end, we've also built out the NFT ticketing system, which we'll be using for the events. So that's pretty exciting. I know someone just tried to call me. Gary B and people like that have talked a lot, about NFT ticketing and stuff. So obviously there's a lot of attention on the topic, especially in regards to like NFTs and music. So yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff, man. It's going to be a long road ahead, but it's definitely an extremely exciting project. And I haven't really seen another project, especially in the music space, because there's so few of them so far, that has like the kind of platform that we're building out.
You've got like live and virtual concerts, which is going to be great with the pandemic and lockdowns and things. So we might be having a few more months of that next year. Events, meet and greets, limited edition merch drops. Yes, can we go into how it works, and the NFTs play into the ticket distribution as well with Sound?
So the way that we're going to do the ticketing in the very beginning is basically just by launching collections, and the collection, the character collections and whatnot, whatever it may be that we're dropping, would then serve as the ticket for the event. In the future, there might be, scenarios where we're just physically dropping digitally, obviously, but dropping a ticket that's, animated and looks nice and everything like that, that will serve as a ticket. But in the beginning, it's mainly going to be like, art and things, maybe even an album will serve as a ticket in the future. We're still kind of dabbling to see what we think we're going to be doing long term with the way the tickets will work. But as far as right now, I believe we're going to be doing collections and things of that nature. So that'll be cool.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, dude.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mo. My bad, I just had a little delay. Happy to join the AMA over here. Nice to meet you guys. How's everybody doing?
Good, yeah. So, how does your role play into the Sound project, Mo?
Yeah, bro. So it's a tight group. It's just me and Braden, kind of running the project right now, and then we have a great team for everything else we need. The NFT marketplace developers were a great help. They're helping us do some things that, are very difficult, and me and Braden couldn't have personally done, such as, integrating the token with the blockchain to accept, our token on our marketplace, etc. But my bad, before I go off, I just wanted to hop back into what Braden was saying about the NF ticketing. It's just so new right now. Like, we're planning on doing live events. We've already started planning out our first one for Q2 of 2022, where, you know, the NFT would serve as the ticket, as he was mentioning. However, you know, there's so much different obstacles and stuff in the way because this is such a new concept, and, you know, it's only been done a handful of times. So, for example, just setting it up with the venue, you know, figuring out how they're actually physically gonna be checking over the NF ticketing, you know, systems at the door. But the easiest solution would be for, you know, 4 or 5,000 people to enter, and for the whole process to be smooth and enjoyable, right? While also making sure that people are actually validating that they are the holder at the door, and, you know, the system can't be cheated and stuff. So, you know, stuff like that, it's like we're working on the back end, just trying to, you know, kind of master all these things because they're all so new, and, you know, there's so much different things that come up in the process of trying to make, you know, one simple thing work, just because there's no reference really to look at. So it's like, you know, those things we're working hard on for sure.
Looking at the limited edition merch drops, are you looking at like music and maybe some pieces of clothing from a concert and things like that of cool artists and stuff, or guitars signed and things? That'd be cool.
Yeah, all types of, like, for example, you know, we have different tier systems, and it's like if you're holding a certain amount of tokens, you feel me, when you're attending these events, you'll get different types of rewards. So, for example, if it is like a NFT character collection that we drop, that's served as, you know, a ticket to the event. Maybe at the event, if you're a VIP tier 1 holder, for example, you know, your character would already be pre-printed and ready on a hoodie for you, you know, if you said that you're attending the event, etc. Stuff like that. Like, it's super exciting. We haven't really talked much about the details of the event or anything yet, but we're already planning even, you know, the merch and stuff out. And that is one idea we had, you know, for certain VIP tiered holders to be able to receive, you know, their NFT printed, ready for them at the show, etc. Different things like that. But we haven't, you know, released any merch yet. Definitely going to be doing that too very soon.
So, yeah, you hold 50 million tokens for additional perks, VIP passes, front of live passes, private tables, priority seating, invites to exclusive after parties, which sounded really cool to me.
Yes.
So you have some really big whales involved, and a lot of the tokens in the sound would be taken up, and yeah, they can get some of these exclusive offers. Like, sounds really cool.
Yeah, no, 100%, and they can receive other benefits as well that aren't just, you know, live events, because we do understand that only a fraction of the holders would ever actually attend the live events, right? Due to just maybe being in, you know, all parts of the world, maybe, or just not being able to access the events. So we're going to be definitely, you know, implementing different like benefits for, you know, different tiers of holders. Even, you know, examples, getting whitelists, early access for NFTs, you know, things like that, things of that sort. Maybe receiving like higher rewards for the redistribution, etc.
Got musicians and partnerships lined up in the sound project?
Yeah, we've got a whole lot that we haven't announced as well. But if you guys don't already follow the Instagram, check it out, Sound BSC. You know, we've reposted a lot of the artist partnerships that we have. You know, just kind of starting off the first couple months, we've had a lot of just hip hop, you know, type artists on board for the most part. But we have now, as we get older and, you know, get more established, we've started partnering with artists of different languages and stuff, different countries, just because music is worldwide, right? So we could really tap in with all these different markets where we have a Chinese community on Telegram, you know, with over 1,000 members, and we're working very hard to, you know, satisfy them as well by bringing a Chinese artist on board, for example, right? So there's the opportunities are endless. You feel me? We could bring all types of artists in. Right now we have, you know, very talented artist Greg Ferreira with 2 million subscribers, 100 million views, and he's Portuguese, right? So we're able to tap in with a whole new market, and, you know, they're just getting into crypto and stuff over there. So it's just super exciting that, you know, language is no barrier for us because, you know, for example, we have Spanish artists on board, we have Albanian artist Melinda Ademi, and, you know, hundreds of millions of views as well. So it's like we're really focusing on expanding to get all genres. You know, we're looking into EDM, which would be a huge community, and it's just we have so much to branch out with right now. But if you want to take a look at who we're already partnered with, definitely check out our Instagram and just take a look at who we follow. You feel me? There's like over 20, 30 like million reach just through our artists, and that's organic. You know what I mean? So we're big on just organic reach, and like Braden was saying earlier, just instead of just getting them to post about sound right now every couple of days, we just had all of them, announce it once that, they're partnered with us, they're on board, they like the project, and that they may be doing cool things with us in the future. And now as our products start rolling out, such as the NFT marketplace, and just heading into the new year, we can actually start releasing, content and doing things with the artists actually. So, we'll see the utility come to fruition, and that's when them posting and sharing with their audience is going to be most effective for us too, because it's just super organic. The people who are coming in and seeing the project are there because they came through like seeing the utility instead of the other way around, being told to go check out a coin and then go learn about it, etc. Right? So instead, we're just focusing on building that part out so that when the people come in, it's the right type of holders, the right investors. They're there for the use of the product. You feel me? And for the utility, not just looking for a quick 100x or anything. We've established a really great community, 4,000 members. I welcome you all to go join. But yeah, now we're focusing on just building out the actual utility, rolling it out, and then all these partners we have, they have a great reach, right? Over 20 million, 30 million right now. So super looking forward to, having them share more about our project with their audiences.
Awesome. You're going to have live and virtual concerts. Is the live going to be different, where it would be more individual artists and the virtual concerts would be multiple artists performing?
Not necessarily virtual, just meaning, online in the metaverse. We are thinking about, definitely the whole coronavirus situation and just the way the world is going. And even just, the metaverse becoming more and more popular, like virtual shows are definitely something that we have planned for 2022. We haven't indulged much with it, but we are thinking of, purchasing space in the sandbox, for example, and having a space for, sound holders to just chill and, attend certain events when we do have them. And so right now we're looking at a couple of properties, near like just nice areas in the sandbox. We're trying to definitely, just bring value to all the investors, and, they'll be able to profit off of whatever virtual events that we do have in that space, right? Because they're the ones technically like raising funds for it by investing in the project. So, just trying to bring all these different benefits to holders such as that, because that's going to be huge, virtual shows, but it could be one single artist, multiple artists, right? The live event that we're planning right now for, early 2022, or sorry, mid 2022, I should say, it would be multiple artists, like it could be multiple singular. So live show just meaning like literally in person. You show up, you take a flight wherever it is and you show up. Virtual, you could just enjoy from the comfort of your home.
Awesome. Yeah. And how will that work with a virtual and live for investors to get involved? Would you have to hold so many tokens to maybe attend a virtual concert?
It would definitely vary like event to event, but we would want even smaller holders to still be able to participate in certain things. So we'll be definitely, inclusive of everybody, but the higher tier you are, you're definitely going to just be able to have a more enjoyable experience probably for more of the live events, but the virtual events too.
With the profits, what will you be putting that back into the SAM project? How will it all work, or investor rewards and things?
So for example, if we release an NFT for the ticketing system, that means if we sell, X amount of tickets and there's this many amount of people, let's say we, generate $800,000 for a live, show that's also being streamed in the metaverse or whatever, right? We raise that through, just selling the NFTs, which by the way would be on our own marketplace, which I am going to drop a quick preview to in here. I'm about to forward it to Glenn. If you could just drop it for me right after this. But let's say they, sell $800,000 worth of tickets through the NFTs. 2% would always be put right back in and redistributed to all the holders, right? So any transactions that are going through, the ecosystem, there's redistribution for basically everything. So
feeds back into itself with the artist coming on board, and then obviously that can promote the sound project token, and Yeah. It's all really cool. But yeah, and then the ticket distributions through NFT airdrops. How's that work for investors?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Ticket distribution through NFT airdrops. How does that work for
Yeah,
investors?
so basically, the way that's going to work is once we have like a more established, understanding of how we're throwing the events after our first view, we will be like airdropping tickets to holders. So essentially, it'll just show up in their wallet. So we have everyone's address because obviously they're holders. So when we do an airdrop, it would just appear in their wallet.
And what sort of price range will it be for live events and virtual concerts for people to get involved in? And will people not involved in the token be able to buy tickets for the live shows as well?
Yeah. So for the live show specifically, for example, let's say we do it as an NFT and it's an NFT ticketing event where, the NFT serves as your entry to the event. In that case, people who are not holders are still able to attend the event by simply purchasing the NFT off the marketplace, using whatever payment method, right? They could purchase it through debit, etc. And they may not be a holder, but our goal is, to merge the retail consumer with, this whole NFT, this whole crypto music space by they're basically coming in and using our service and, they're buying an NFT. And so even if they're not someone who already holds sound, we're then familiarizing them with the whole process, right? They now have a virtual wallet on our website on Sound NFTs, right? And they have this wallet where they're holding this virtual asset, and you feel me, then they see all these things about how holding sound they could have made like certain amounts of revenue, passive income through the ecosystem, and they'll learn that when they bought some all these people were receiving redistributions, etc. Like we're definitely going to be pushing the token on the marketplace as well, and just kind of merging the I got a call there. But yeah, just trying to merge the masses with this type of concept, because a lot of it is very new. Only 2-3% of people even use this entire crypto ecosystem. But with the NFTs and with the metaverse and the ticketing and everything, like those are products and uses now that are going to start bringing people in who have no idea what holding sound is, but we hope to then introduce them to that.
Yeah, especially considering that we're going to be accepting bid on the marketplace. That'll bring in like new retail investors that haven't necessarily bought NFTs before, or maybe don't even know how to buy crypto, but can now own an NFT by buying with debit. So that'll be cool too.
Some idea, as crypto grows and goes exponential and mainstream, you're bringing new people into crypto through the music and the concerts and everything and events. And are you looking at doing maybe a sound festival in the future as well? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean that's Mo. I would say that's definitely in the cards, wouldn't you? To throw a festival.
Yeah, 100%. Even our first event that we're kind of preparing, not so much a festival where there's dozens of artists, but we are looking to do something where one NFT ticket would serve as like a weekend pass to 3 different concerts, for example. That's something we've already been. That's how we're structuring our first event, most likely, if everything goes as planned. But yeah, moving into the future, hopefully next year, the year after that, there's definitely room for a big crypto festival to yet exist, right? There hasn't been one. So after having our first couple events and establishing that in ourselves in the event space and figuring that stuff out, we could definitely start scaling it up. And as we bring new partnerships on, merge more of the partnerships that kind of go together and have bigger festivals and such. I definitely think like NF ticketing is going to disrupt the ticketing space, like to a certain extent, like just like every other industry, right? Gaming is being changed. Music has yet to really be tapped into. Like we saw a huge rise, earlier this year to like porn crypto coins, right? All these adult website coins going to 1 billion market cap, 2 billion market cap, and everyone was just super amped about it. And then gaming kind of took over, and we saw these gaming things and the metaverse, and music kind of really has yet to have that, shine. But it's something that everybody almost uses every day, right? Music, everyone's a consumer of music, like if not 99.99% of people. And so we've really only we haven't really even gotten started if you really think about it. The biggest music crypto project is at 1 billion, right? Audius, and they're doing great, but there's a lot of things that they're not doing, and we're hoping to be up there. This year we're going in full throttle. We have a huge marketing budget, a huge event budget, and we're just trying to, instead of just doing all these random promos and stuff, we're just trying to bring out the utilities, bring out the shows, bring out the marketplace, drop these cool different types of NFTs. Braden, if you could right after this explain the 3-4 different NFTs. I know you wrote down a nice little paragraph about those, but yeah, we're just going full-fledged towards putting all these utilities out as soon as we possibly can. And Glenn Jones, I'm about to just send you a little link. If you could drop it in the chat for me, just because I know I can't type. So.
Let's have a look. Yeah, but yeah, well, what's your backgrounds? Are you from the music industry? Have you got a lot of contacts there, and to grow in the future? Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you my background, and then I'm sure Braden would be happy to tell you his. I was not so much in the music industry, but I've managed a couple of just rappers in my city. You feel me? Because I was previously doing marketing, social media management, and all sorts of things. So it kind of just tied in together. And, by managing those artists, I just got super well, like kind of tapped in and connected to all these different artists that, I was then able to leverage those relationships, to kind of get sound off its feet, bring some credibility to it, bring some eyes on it. That's how we had a lot of organic growth coming in. And that's kind of my background, just e-commerce and all these different things. I've helped different crypto projects, with marketing previously. One of them going all the way to 300 million market cap, earlier this year. Just with the marketing side of things. So my specialty is really just kind of getting like the people on it. You know what I mean? Kind of just the eyes on it, getting it out there. And then Braden.
Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, basically somewhat the same for me. I've done marketing for several years. I started doing marketing in like 2018, 2017. I also am in payment processing, which is how we're kind of having a little bit of leeway when it comes to getting boarded for, accepting debit on the actual NFT marketplace. And, what else? I mean, graphic design, things of that nature, but primarily my main focus has always been marketing. So, I feel as if, me and Mo working together, we have a lot of people within our network that also help us out with a bunch of different things that have deep rooted, crypto backgrounds and whatnot. But, yeah, basically just marketing. I own a marketing agency and a payment processing company, and that's basically it.
I think Mo said there something about you wanted to Braden to talk about NFTs. Yeah.
Yeah, so the NFTs that we're going to be releasing are a little bit different than what people have already seen. So one of our main things that we're going to be working with artists on is selling music as fractional shares associated with the sale of the NFT. For example, an artist could, drop an album or a song, a single, and sell it on the marketplace and give, a fractional share of ownership of that song to the individuals that are buying the NFT, which kind of like revolutionizes the way, individuals are allowed to invest into like artists that they like and stuff like that, as if they would like an index or something. If they were to buy like a bunch of different artist songs and, own a portfolio of actual ownership of these songs, which is kind of crazy. Another thing is, the art, obviously. Videos, will also be on the marketplace, and tickets, of course. So it kind of just gives the artist the leeway, the freedom to do whatever it is that they want to do as far as, creativity, without there being, very much of any like cap on what they can release. So super excited for the for the songs and albums being sold with fractional shares, though. I think that's going to be pretty amazing to watch, because that truly does revolutionize the way the artists are allowed to monetize themselves.
Speaking to musicians and partnerships about the NFT side of releasing singles and albums in an NFT form, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like imagine like, you love an artist and now you then have the ability to go onto a platform and actually own, a piece of a single or something like that and benefit from it financially. I'd, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've really seen that being done before. I know there's a few projects that might be trying to do things that are somewhat similar, but that specific part of that specific type of sale of NFT, I think is going to be super, super crazy to watch. That grow and people really expand their investments into owning.
Yeah, and not only that, it's also a great opportunity, for smaller artists who, may need some funding in their career. We know as artists, grow and in their beginning stages, a lot of artists are kind of struggling, right, financially because they're not able to monetize their music or their fan base because it's, too small. And even if their fans want to support them, the most they could do is stream their music or buy the album for $10, right? Now they have a chance to, someone with maybe 10, 15,000 followers, right, and a couple thousand loyal fans could release a song as an NFT on our platform and offer 50 NFTs, each of them representing 1% of the song's royalties in the future, for example. And all he needs is 50 fans to, buy them for maybe $100 each, right? Because they believe in his music, maybe because they want to support him, and maybe because they just think he's good. And one day that song could blow up and they could actually make a return on the investment, or it could go up in value, etc. There's so many different reasons that one would buy it, right? But now he just needs 50 loyal fans or 50 people who think it's a good investment to put in $100 each, and right, that's $5,000 right there for an independent artist with like very little money or very little followers. That could be completely career changing, And I think that's definitely going to be the new way that up and coming artists kind of fund themselves, right? Someone slightly bigger than that with 100 followers might be able to raise 100,000 for themselves, right? And a lot of these people are signing, $500,000 deals for 4 years, and it's a negative image. Like people don't like the labels and stuff. They take over the music, they take over the art. So now it's like your own way. You feel me? It's another option for new artists to find funding for their career, and they could do it organically themselves, right? By growing an audience through putting out work, maybe growing their TikTok, etc. Right? It's just that's going to be 2022. We're going to see more and more artists coming up. We already see artists coming up off of TikTok, right? That's the number one place where we're seeing hits come out of. The biggest tracks right now are coming out of TikTok. You feel me? So it's like those same artists can now just use that clout, use that little buzz they have and the interest that they've piqued of the people. Instead of using that to then go sign a deal, they could use that to just raise $200,000 for each song that they drop, right? And now they're creating an investment.
Like Radiohead, that launched their first album online and asked people to pay outside of the music industry, that sort of takes all their profits, and for smaller artists, like you say, with the pandemic, it's been really tough for them, so they can get a platform. And if investors invest in the NFT and they become the next Michael Jackson, there could be huge profits for investors. So it's a win-win for everyone. Like, so how does the tokenomics work for Sound as well? The buys and sells.
So the tokenomics that we have is a 6% tax for, that gets injected straight back into the liquidity pool. And this is basically to help the liquidity grow stronger over time, so that buys and sells affect the price less. It does make it harder to pump, but it does also make it harder to dump, so it's better for the stability of the token. And, we have a very strong liquidity. Right now, our market cap is sitting at 7.1 million. And we have basically $400,000 in the liquidity. So that's the 6% tax, right? And then there's a 2% tax for redistribution and a 2% tax for the marketing. So in total, there's a 10% tax for buys and there's a 10% tax for sales. However, we have turned the 8%, the extra 8%, meaning the liquidity and the marketing, off ever since we hit our all-time high. And we were just turning it off basically, to allow new buyers enter with a lower slippage, lower tax, and we're going to be turning that back on once we pass the all-time high again. So as of right now, the only tax that's on is the 2% reflection tax. because we didn't want to turn that off because, you know, we want to continue rewarding all the holders, obviously. And that's the one tax that we would never turn off. So there's only a 2% tax right now, but it's normally 10%.
And going forward with the marketing, what you're planning? Are you looking to go to music conferences and festivals and things like that to promote the sound project?
Yeah, so moving towards having the festivals and stuff, we are looking to have a press media release just because, you know, to differentiate this project kind of from all these other projects, like really just putting it in an article and showing it to people who, you know, go to that news outlet or whatever. I think that would be a really good way to get the right eyes on us before we actually move, you know, into the live events and all this, especially with our NFT marketplace coming out and stuff. There's a lot to talk about, you know, so we're in talks with different, you know. Oh, 1 second. I think you guys dropped the wrong link. Just give me one moment.
Yeah, link.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Oh, yeah, I've got it here. Wait a minute. Sound.co, is it?
Yeah, so yeah, we'll just head straight into that. So homie over here is about to drop. I know we dropped the soundnfts.io previously, so that's going to be our main domain upon release. And that's also where you can go and just enter your email so that once it's out, you know, it's there. But this right here is the first preview that we're releasing. We haven't even showed our group yet. We just dropped it in the chat, soundnfts.co. If you could
great.
click that
why
and just take a
find
look
it on the
at
research. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So just if you take a look at that, that's kind of just a preview of how the marketplace is going to look. So there's pictures of our artists there right now. The prices and all that will all be changed. That's just sample text. So you're not viewing any actual NFTs there right now. Those are just placeholders. But you can just kind of scroll through it, you know, check out the UI and stuff. You know, this was, for example, the type of stuff we put our budget into, right? A lot of projects say are going to have all these different products, and you never end up seeing the products. So we've been working hard on, you know, just getting these products made and ready for use. You know, we did have to delay the launch by a week or whatever so that we could, you know, finalize everything, make sure everything's good. And right now it's looking great. I just wanted you guys to, you know, have that first look at it. So you can't sign up on the website yet, but when you do visit the marketplace, click the button at the top right, and where the login and registration page is, just go ahead and click login. Don't enter an email or password or anything because, again, like I said, this is just a demo for you guys to be able to see, you know, what type of marketplace we're about to drop. As you can see, it's very simple, you know, less than 10 buttons, just making it very easy for these retail, you know, just new people to the space, basically, right? Our major audience is going to be the fan bases of these artists, and just it's going to be coming super organically, right? So we wanted to make it super easy. If you go ahead, just click login, scroll down, you can see we have a wallet built in right there. You can see payouts, meaning when an artist releases like their user submitted content on our marketplace, they'll be able to receive payouts. So if you go ahead and click payouts, you could see that they actually can get paid out straight to their Coinbase or in PayPal. So we'll be taking care of all that for them. And that's kind of why it took so long for us to build this. You know, 2 months it took us to kind of get this ready. And it's going to be out on January 6th. So we're super excited. You know,
Awesome.
The website's just getting some finishing touches, and then it'll be ready to put out for you guys to start signing up and using.
You're going to have a mobile app as well. I see at the bottom it's iOS and Android, yeah?
Yes, sir. So as of right now, the application development has not begun. We just wanted to first get the web version done, but we do have, you know, the team ready for that, and that should take at least 3 to 6 months. We can't lie, because just to get approved on the App Store, it takes some time. So you won't be seeing, you know, the app on the App Store or the Play Store anytime too soon, but we are looking to have it up in 2022.
You're going to maybe introduce things with a sound token where you could buy things as well in the future, as well as a dollar amount on the NFT marketplace.
Exactly. So the integration of the sound token itself is definitely taking a bit longer, so we won't have it up right at launch. However, it's something that, you know, you guys can look forward to as early investors of sound, because once the sound integration happens on the marketplace, that's just so much more activity happening on the sound ecosystem, and so much more redistribution being given out And if, you know, millions and millions of dollars of volume are being traded in NFTs, which by the way is just one of our products, right? Then that's just generating so much reflections for the holders, especially early investors as well, right? So we're just trying to really force like the use of the sound coin by creating these purposes for it, by integrating it, making benefits, and just making it a win-win situation for everybody.
And is there anyone doxed in the team as well?
So currently, neither of us are doxed. It is something that, you know, I would be open to doing because I love the project, and you know, I brought so many of my close friends on board, even just the artists. You know, a lot of them are close relationships that I have. So you know, they've put their faces behind the project on behalf of us and stuff. And so I would eventually love to, you know, take ownership of the project and be able to say, you know, we did that and we're building this, because we're definitely super proud of how everything's going and what we're getting done. However, we just haven't done it as of yet in the earlier stages, until, you know, we feel that it's like something safe for us and our families to do, you know, because there's a lot of different things that come into factor when, you know, doxing.
Yeah, maybe at the first sort of live concert, yeah, you guys can be down there and film it for the investors. Yeah, so I can open it up to the team if anyone's got any questions for the sound team, Mo and Braden.
Hey Glenn, yeah, I have a few questions. So I've been listening, guys. It sounds super nice. Like I think the fractional shares for the NFTs is a great idea. So I'm curious, are you looking at actually taking it a step further than that? Whereas if you have an artist and wants to do sort of like an exclusive deal where he says, you know what, I'll just drop one song, but I want to give whoever buys the NFT a full exclusive licensing and copyright for everything. Like it's not going to be like the $10 or $15 one. Maybe he wants to sell for 50,000 or something like that, but he wants to give it away for people to, I don't know, market as they please. Is that something you're looking at?
Yeah, so if I understand you correctly, then this is what one thing that we are planning to do. So we have a partner named Rojas on the beat. You know, he's a producer, a Billboard, you know, multi-platinum producer, and we're going to be dropping basically a collection of 20 NFTs, for example, right? 20 with him, and each of them will be a unique instrumental, right? Because that's what he does. He's a producer, and so each of them would be a beat. And the idea that he had basically, and that we're going to be doing, is that he'll release these 20 beats, each as its own unique NFT, a one of one, and whoever purchases that can then, you know, create a song over it. If they're a rapper, they could remix it. If they're also a producer, they could reset it. They could do whatever they please with it, kind of, right? As you said.
Yeah.
So, you know, he could. That's definitely something. That's one of the NFT
Yeah,
types for
I know.
sure.
I know. There's like a lot of people that are just good at the sampling music and good at just creating good sound bites. So that would be tremendously valuable for them too. Yeah, it's super
100%.
cool. How do you find most of the artists you've mentioned? Like you're connected with them, but can like some say a new up and coming artist just approach you and you would vet them,
Yeah.
or what's the
So
process looking like? Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of artists have started approaching us as we grow, right? Just kind of trying to figure out how they can kind of hop on board or just get involved with the project. And that's a really good sign because, you know, if the artists are excited, that means that we have a good product in place, you know, because again, music is music and we're all consumers of music, but we got to remember the artists are the creators of the music. And so, you know, for us having the artists excited about the project means so much and shows us that, you know, we actually have something special here. So in the beginning, like I mentioned, I used to just kind of like manage a couple artists, you know, up and coming artists, very small rappers, and you know, just through doing that, and as well as running, you know, social media management for different influencers and such, you know, I was just kind of already connected a little bit with a lot of musicians, mostly in the hip hop industry, prior to even starting this project, right? That's why you'll notice a lot of our artists initially were just rappers and, you know, just that kind of genre. However, like I mentioned earlier, now through those couple artists, it's like a snowball effect. You feel me? Because they have this person who did this for this person, right? And so we're able to just, since these artists are so excited, they're bringing us more people. You know what I mean? They're kind of using their connections and leverages and just having conversations about the project and finding that, oh, you know, this person A, B, like, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it goes right now. We, like, for example, Rojas on the beat, he produced "Look at Me" for XXXTentacion, right? Legendary song. It's on Rojas's SoundCloud, like a billion streams. You know what I mean? So he made that song, and that's just kind of my homie. And so through him, now I've been able to get on the phone with Ski Master Slump God, for example. You know what I mean? Kodak Black, people like this, like through him, because he's a producer, a legendary producer. And so he knows a handful of, different artists that could potentially hop on board with us. And so through him, we're able to connect with all these people in the States. And then we got this artist from, Italy, and he's able to help me connect with artists from different countries. And that's kind of how it goes. And every time we add a new artist to the team, we only work with artists if they're genuinely excited and looking forward to doing more things with us, right? So once they're there, they're always open to just bringing us their connections as well. And so, our network's just going to get bigger and bigger because of that.
Yeah, I think it sounds super cool, and it is word to mouth, especially with this kind of industry, that brings you the real value to the table. Because if one artist, they don't have to be big, because they all know each other. We know this, right? And if one of his 10 friends jumps on board, then it's super cool for you guys. And also, you mentioned like you're not going to be restrictive with your marketplace. People won't have to use your native token if they want to buy, right? They'll be able to just use their credit cards also, and or they're just BNB and everything. Did I get that right?
Exactly, because although it's best for like obviously the sound coin, like some people are saying, why not only accept sound coin, right, to force them to buy? And my answer to that is like, that sounds good, but in reality, we're cutting off thousands of people who want to use the service from even being able to use it at all, right? So it's best to have different options available for them and let them use. If it's debit that you need to use, then debit. I think the debit sales will probably make up a big fraction of our sales on the NFTs,
it's great.
and
I
it'll
know
also convert.
I know a lot of projects do this where they just want to see buys on their token and they just keep it restrictive to their native token. But yeah, they are cutting off a lot of people that might want to get involved with it, which is their credit card, to be honest. Yeah, it sounds super
Exactly.
cool.
Instead of trying to just force them to buy the token, we're trying to just provide a nice platform that they end up using without even knowing what they're using. They don't even know that there's a token involved. They're just using one of our products, whether it's coming to the event, streaming music, whatever. And then once they're there and we have them as a customer, they then see all these benefits of being a sound holder, right? It's kind of like just Apple sells phones and then people use their phone and realize, okay, I want to invest in this company, right? We want to do it like that instead of making them invest first and never even use the product. You know what I mean? How a real company would.
Yeah, it sounds super cool. It's a very great way of going about it. Yeah, thank you. Oh, just okay. The last thing from me, Glenn. Sorry. Do you have sort of like a timeline for when the marketplace is going to be ready, or like for the first NFT sales or anything like that?
Yeah, the marketplace will be ready on the 6th, and I believe we have multiple people that we're working with to drop NFTs. Within the first few days of release, and I know one for sure upon the release. So yeah, it's pretty soon from now. I mean, that's what, 7 days.
Okay, yeah, that's coming pretty fast. All right, thank you guys. That sounds
Not
great.
much.
Cheers.
And what's the sort of cost involved for artists to mint the NFTs and to do live concerts? You're going to be a lot more competitive than, say, a record label deal where they sign up and they have to give like half their profits away. So new and upcoming artists will be better going down the NFT route and through promotions with companies like the Sound Project Token. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we really touch base too much on the streaming platform, but that's also like a really exciting part of the project because it'll be the first streaming platform that is able to pay the artists for their streams in crypto. So it's also super exciting. Several months out, but definitely super exciting.
Yeah. So then what's the cost involved, like say, with the NFTs and doing a live concert or a virtual concert that they'd have to pay to the Sound Project?
Like the cost involved as far as our expenses, as far as hosting the show and all of that, or the cost to the individual that would like to attend?
Cost to the artist, yeah. You would take a cut, would you, of profits and stuff, yeah, with live and virtual concerts?
Yeah, no, definitely. But at the same time, we make sure to do our due diligence, understand what they're typically getting paid, and make sure they're getting compensated, even more so than they would normally. So there's definitely benefits on their end. And also due to the fact that a lot of the events, especially like the first few, are going to be ticketed through the sale of NFTs. the NFTs themselves will bring in revenue for the artist, and Sound as a company.
Cool. Yeah, we've got a few questions coming in from investors here. Aisha, you've got a question for Sound Project? Nolan Braden?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, my question is that it is mentioned on the Sound website about airdropping rewards where one can win free tickets to upcoming concerts and virtual events. I want to know that what are the requirements? How can I become eligible for this airdrop?
So we're going to be airdropping to a lot of the larger holders in the beginning when we first start doing the airdrops. So I believe it's, no, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's like 50 million to qualify for things like that in the future, as far as right
Okay.
now. So yeah, we're going to basically, do whatever we can to kind of expand quickly into the sandbox and things like that as well. Because I know one of the easiest, and most effective ways to start doing airdrops to make it fun for investors is to throw meta events, because there's a lot less cost associated with that. But then moving forward in the future, like we're going to be doing live events and things with giveaways through airdrops for holders and stuff. So
All right.
yeah,
Okay. Will you guys offer any VIP tickets or VIP tires for investors who want to have VIP access? If yes, then what amount of Sound tokens one need to hold for VIP access? Do you get it?
I'm sorry. Can you ask the question again? I really couldn't hear you.
Uh, okay. I'm saying, are you guys offering any VIP tickets or VIP tires for investors who want to have VIP access? If yes, then what amount of Sound tokens one need to hold for VIP access?
VIP access is going to be 50 million. And then
Okay.
moving forward, we're going to have like different tiered systems that we roll out. We're basically kind of looking at the first event to kind of completely figure out what different costs are going to be associated with different placement. For example, if the venue has tables and stuff that obviously have a cost associated with renting out that table, what different perks. So a lot of them, especially for the in-person, will be like front of the line passes, early venue access, private tables. So we're just basically in the first event looking at our expenses and then seeing the most effective VIP program. But there's a lot of perks that come with it.
Okay. Thank you. Your project sounds really amazing. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's great. And Venice, we've got a question from Venice for the Sound Project. Mo and Braden.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello, can you hear me,
yeah,
guys?
Hey,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, so I wanted to know that as we all know, many big companies are entering in the blockchain industry, like Mark Zuckerberg is doing with Metaverse. I wonder if SoundCloud or any other music company enters into the blockchain, how are you gonna compete them? Because these kind of companies already have great fan following, and people will believe and invest in those projects if they launch their own token. So how are you gonna stay in the blockchain and compete them?
Yeah, so the way that we kind of look at it as there's always a first for everything, right? If we're entering the space first with the amount of like partnerships, and a lot of the partnerships that we're yet to release are with, basically A-list celebrities that are music artists, we were going to have a lot of backing. So if you're the first to something, we've established ourselves, and then they try to enter the space, not to say that they will, but they definitely could. I don't think that competing is going to be very hard once we've already established ourselves in the manner that we're going to over the next like 4 to 6 months. Obviously, that is somewhat of something, to look into as far as how would you compete. But at the end of the day, it's cryptocurrency. They're a huge corporate company like SoundCloud, Spotify. For them to go ahead and launch a platform, it's just like it takes so much for them to switch over to crypto as far as being a company that large. So I don't foresee that happening even in the next year or even longer. But if it does, we're very confident that we're going to be able to stand our ground and continue to innovate and do things in a manner that sets us apart from, potential competitors.
Yeah, thank you. And do you have any plan for music concerts to promote your project, where people can buy tickets of your concert from your tokens?
Yeah, no, that's some that we've been talking about. So tickets to the concerts will be sold on the NFT marketplace, and that will be something that people can actually buy with like debit if they're not ready a crypto investor or adopter. They will be able to just buy with their debit cards. So basically, opening up the floodgates to having people purchase their first NFT to an event with a debit card, and then get involved in the crypto space as well. So yeah, the tickets to events will be sold on the marketplace as NFTs,
Okay, thank you so much.
of course.
From his first question, Venice, there, yeah, I think artists are realizing that they can become, like we are, our own bankers in a DeFi space in crypto. They can become their own. They don't have to be with a record label that wants to take half their profits from every concert and every album sale. They can take a bigger cut, joining crypto and making their own NFT albums, and so the future really, yeah, big artists, small artists, new artists are going to come into this space and empower themselves away from the middleman, the record label that's been screwing them for years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's actually one of the main driving factors as to why we, initially started this project. Is we, obviously know a lot of people within the music industry, some artists and whatnot, and it's really sad, the way that they're basically having a lot of the revenue they're generating through their fan base get stripped from them because they signed, a shoddy deal. So I really do believe that, with this project and just especially NFTs entirely, like artists will be able to, crowdfund and be their own, how can I put it? Be their own record label, I guess, and be able to do things in a manner where they're not having to, middleman everything and give away 25, in most cases, 50 or more percent of what they're making. So it's going to be pretty revolutionary for artists overall.
As he said, as these big companies might come into crypto in the future, to be charging way more than what like Sound Project would be charging, so that they're not going to be able to compete on that level because they're very greedy. It seems with artists, talents and prospects. So we've got Coinslayer. You've got a question, Coinslayer, for the Sound.
Yes, sir. I want to know some killer features of project that makes it ahead of its competitors. And what is the competitive advantage your project has that you feel most confident about?
Well, first and foremost, we've done our due diligence looking at other music projects, and I truly don't think I've seen one with as much utility as we're going to be rolling out, especially when taking into consideration the marketplace, then the streaming platform, then the integrated app that shows events and the whole 9 yards, and our other utilities within the app. So I think firstly, just the fact that we're going to have multiple different platforms. We'll be releasing the first streaming application that pays artists for streams in cryptocurrency. I think those two things alone give us quite a big competitive edge when compared to another music related crypto project. And then of course, also taking into consideration the NFT ticketing that we've already got dialed in. I think all of those things together, really set us apart.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I truly haven't seen another project that has the amount of diverse utility that we're offering.
Okay, great. And then we've got Syed. Syed, do you have a question for the Sound Project team?
Yeah. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So it's mentioned on your website about Sound app, where one can watch their favorite artists virtually. What I want to know is that will this app be like social media app, or will it be like a music app like Spotify, where we can also listen to favorite songs of our artist? What other features will this app have?
So in the beginning, the application will basically show, upcoming concerts and things like that. And it'll also have a QR code scanner for tickets that offer or have a QR code with it. but the main goal with the application is going to be to integrate all of the other applications into this one. So you'll be able to jump from app to app, whether it be marketplace, streaming platform, or just looking at upcoming events and whatnot, all within the app. So no, not social media like, but basically just giving easy access to all of our utility and being able to kind of map out and calendar events and things so that you can know when like NFTs are dropping for tickets or collections or whatever it may be, all within one app.
Okay, thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, sounds a really super project going forward into the future. I'm looking forward to the concert next year and the virtual events and the NFT payment system and everything, yeah, around the project. I always say to anyone listening back to the recording, we can get you safely over to the official Sound Project Telegram. If you've got any more questions and you're listening back to this, we share it around the crypto space and the BSC and in our chat. So yeah, it's really exciting for our investors. We've had an AMA with you today, guys, Braden and Mo. Really cool talking to you. And we also say after an AMA, yeah, keep us updated with the updates and everything in our text chat for our investors that get involved with the project. I'm sure many will. I'll finish the recording now and share that with you, share with your community and for our community.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great talking, guys. Thanks very much for coming.
Will we have the ability to release news within the text chat and this Telegram? Because I don't believe I had access to do that when I first hopped in.
Oh yeah, we lock it. Sorry for the AMA, but when it's reopened to the investors, yeah, you can DM me or post it in the chat, and the mods usually know that you've had an AMA in the past, and you can give us the updates. That'd be great, guys. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, awesome. Well, it was great. Appreciate you having us on the AMA, and we'll definitely keep you updated with the growth of the project. We've got a lot of amazing things planned, and it's going to be a very, very exciting upcoming year.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Keep us updated on our investors. Cause, yeah, there will be a lot that will invest with the Sound project because you've got a really solid utility, and yeah, going forward, it looks really promising for us and the investors. So yeah, looking forward to the future for the Sound project. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Appreciate it. Thank you.